starting with this 12-step lean KPI methodology is the simple and practical way for the beginner, the busy, and the budget constrained, so you can still more meaningfully measure what matters for business performance. Ultimately, I will always advocate that a robust performance measurement methodology is critical for every organisation to master. If we can't know how well what matters is working, we can't really manage anything well. But practically, not everyone can start with a robust performance measurement methodology. Skill, experience, time, and money, especially in small businesses and non-profits, it can all constrain the ability to start with something rigorous, like PuMP, for example. Now, you still can lay a foundation for good measurement practice. Good measurement can be as simple as having clear goals, choosing a few relevant measures, tracking them through time, and looking for signals worth responding to. Now, it's best to start this with just one or maybe two goals before you progress to measuring a whole team or department's collection of goals, or even before you align them to corporate strategic direction. So there are 12 very specific but very simple and easy to follow steps to set up your first powerful performance measures. Now, for most of these steps, I've listed extra how-to resources in the description below this video, so make sure to check those links for more detail on each of these 12 steps. Step 1 is to choose a goal you really want or need to achieve. Take 10 minutes to simply decide on a goal that you really want to achieve. Step 2 is to make your goal measurable by teasing out the performance result or performance results that it implies. This might take about 20 minutes using 3 of PuMP's measurability tests, which again I'll link to in the description below this video. Now, step 3 is to use sensory-rich language to describe your result. Spend about 15 minutes to list the evidence you'd see or hear or feel that would convince you your goal was achieved. Step 4 is to design some potential measures from that sensory evidence of your result. So take another 15 minutes or so to follow my recipe for how to write quantitative measures. The statistic, like a percentage or average or total, the evidence that you're going to quantify, and the frequency that you'll measure it, like weekly or monthly. Step 5 is to evaluate your potential measures and select the most meaningful one, maybe 2 of them. So in less than 10 minutes, you can score your measures for their relevance to your goal and for their feasibility to implement. Step 6 is to settle on the formal name and quantitative description for each measure that you've chosen. Use 5 minutes just to check you really have clearly followed that recipe for writing a quantitative measure. Step 7 is to define exactly how to calculate your measure's values. Now, it might take you about 5 minutes to write the formula for exactly how to calculate your measure's values, and if you're not really confident with maths, it's okay to get help from a data expert. Step 8 is to get the data and make it ready for calculating each of your measure's values. Now, this is where time is a little hard to predict because it depends on whether you have the data available or not. If you do, get the data expert to get it out for you, and if you don't, start collecting some basic data as a pilot. Now, step 9 is to calculate your measure's values. Once you have your data organized, you can calculate those averages or percentages or totals and spend about 10 minutes to set up the calculated values in a spreadsheet. Then step 10 is to choose the presentation method that best highlights your measure's message. Now, my suggestion is to spend some time to learn XMR charts, but you really need only 10 minutes to set up a simple line chart in your spreadsheet. Step 11 is to interpret what your measure's saying and understand why it's saying that. Now, if you use XMR charts, that will take only 5 minutes to look for the signals in your measure, but if you have more time and some good data, you can spend another 30 minutes, maybe more, to do some basic cause analysis and understand the reasons for any signals that your measure is showing you. And step 12, our final step, is to make a decision and take action to move closer to your goal. You can whip up a business improvement experiment in 15 minutes or so. Then it's up to you to know how much time to give to implementing that experiment. And that's the 12 steps to getting started with KPIs or performance measures. Now, an important thing to continue reminding yourself about is that we often overthink this stuff. Just get in and do these 12 steps. Aim for practicality, not perfection. It really is more important to learn the right way, and it's less important to get everything measured. Be practical, not perfect.